Hola! It's time to do some Spanish metal review here on Rauta. This one is actually from my long backlog. Has been waiting for quite some time. This one is Fire Growth with the album called Dawn of the Flame. Originally released in 2018, this one came to me, I guess, around 2019. And being one of those already old releases back then, it just had to wait. My pardon for that. The reason is nowadays people, bands and labels, that is, keep bombarding me with so many reviews and it's hard to fit them all out as soon as they come, and sometimes we go to the backlog. As you can see, this one is a CDR release, self-financed one by the band. And those of you who have been following the channel for quite some time know what I think about self-financed release. I usually strongly advise against them for various reasons. Not only because, well, it usually means these bands tend to drop out of the radar frequency, but also because, that it lacks distribution, sales, and who knows what. Now, every now and then, there is a reason why self-financed release makes a point. And Fire Growth is on the verge of that. That is, it's not outright like, it's so bad that you shouldn't be releasing it your own. But there are reasons why this kind of a band is kind of a hard to find a label. I don't know what their current situation is, however, but at least for the time being, the band is not signed to a label. Also, this is not found on Metal Archives, at least for the time being when I was listening to this. And I guess because after 3 years it hasn't been ending on Metal Archives. The reason is this probably wasn't accepted for some of the reasons. Now, one of the reasons might be that this is not metal enough for some people. The ones that, decide what goes in and what is left out. However, I found this actually to be a metal release, but I kind of get it why some people might decide to go against it. Now, this is a combination of what could be described as alternative metal, but also kind of a alternative rock, or should we say maybe indie rock meets alternative metal. And that's where it might go in the ways that some people say it's not metal enough. Now, it's rather interesting release, this one, because the music is not so easily classified. I mean, it doesn't really go to just one box and that's how you put it into a genre. More like you have these elements of indie rock, clean female vocals, kind of beautiful, but a little bit off in a way. Also, the band has somewhat progressive metal or progressive kind of riffs, which don't necessarily always fall in line with the other ideas the band has. That is, there are some parts where you could describe this as kind of a stonery, not exactly stoner rock, but definitely a little bit of that. Some could be described as kind of a doomy, but not purely right that. And then again, the vocals are a little bit off in that territory. Now, mostly the band operates somewhat which could be called a kind of a mid-tempo area. So not exactly really fast-paced music, not that energetic, but not as slow as, your typical doom metal band. So it falls into the mid-tempo area with clean vocals and riffs that go a little bit of proggy and stony and all that stuff. So maybe with this kind of description, you're getting the idea what this band might sound. Now, that alone brings us to the very problem. Which kind of audience you're gonna get when your music doesn't really appeal to just one direction. I mean, if you have way too big a spectrum, it's hard to reach the certain audience. I mean, some audience just want their music. I want to listen to doom and that's it. Some people want heavy metal, some people want stoner, some people want the progressive stuff. And when you have a little bit of everything but not precisely nothing as, a genre, it's hard to just, get the people to like your music. Now, basically, the band has, all the bullets, all the shots to just deliver the blow. I mean, the production is pretty solid, given that this is self-financed. It sounds very pro, if you will. The vocals are pretty beautiful, even though I find them a little bit hard to enjoy fully. It seems like there could be a way more passion in the vocal department. I'm not saying it's bad, but it seems like something is missing. When it comes to the riffs here, it's a little bit more complicated once again because of different styles. And I couldn't totally enjoy it like, hey, this is right up my alley, because it's not. So in my books, this is pretty much a decent start, much like a demo in a costume or full-length album. Not quite there yet, but definitely something is stirring right here. So it's quite an okay release as such, but in my opinion, this could have been split into 2 different demos and then to just, get in contact with lots of labels to kind of showcase what's going on here and all that stuff. Now releasing as a full-length album when all the material is not that good, I think it's kind of a bold move, but I get it. It's also about, passion thing. Once you have enough songs, once you have them recorded, it's quite easy to just, pursue your own career by releasing an album on your own, even though it might not be a smart move. Because sometimes when an artist is ready with the album, you want to move on. You want to just record the stuff you made and then focus on your future. Now, that might leave the band without any kind of support, because once you don't have label, you don't necessarily have the distribution or sales, you don't have the promotion and PR department. Your album is just floating out there in the air in the middle of nothing, and then nothing really happens. Now, I hope these guys and a gal, take the next step and are able to sign a label, maybe make more music and, hone their stuff. Because this is actually promising, even though it's going multiple directions and maybe a little bit too much in that. But still, there is something that the band does quite alright. And as such, I would say this is a decent release, even if not my cup of tea as such. Anyway, if that got you interested, here you have this link to band's Bandcamp site. So go to give it a listen and decide for yourself whether or not this is your cup of tea. Not bad, but not really wow. Thanks for watching. Take care and bye-bye.